Good day and welcome back to the Herbert Dennard Show. Now we have my very good friend, the Reverend Dr. Henry Ficklin. He has his, I like to say this, I love to say it. He has his PhD from Mercer University. So I just want to say that from the offset. But anyway, welcome, Dr. Ficklin.
Good to be with you again.
You have something coming up soon at your church.
Yes.
Mount Vernon
Missionary
Baptist Church. Tell us about it.
Well, we are very excited. This is our 50th anniversary, the golden anniversary of Mount Vernon. 50 years ago in 1962, 103 individuals saw fit to leave the Unionville Baptist Church and to start another mission, another congregation, and it was called the Mount Vernon Baptist Church. And that has been 50 years ago. And I think that in 50 years, this church has really done some amazing things. And we've just had a wonderful history. We've had some wonderful people to come and sit in our pulpit and be with us. And we're just glad that the Lord has blessed us to have existed for 50 years.
Who's the first pastor?
Reverend A.J. Shaw.
A.J. Shaw. And how long did he stay there?
He was there for 5 years. He's actually the organizing pastor of the Mount Vernon Baptist Church. And he was there for 5 years organizing the church. And of course, there were many other ministers around who were involved in the organization of it. And we're going to have one of the pastors, Reverend Jackson, who was out at Salem for about 30 years. He's going to do our morning service because he was there when the church was organized. So we're really glad to have someone who was there 50 years ago to come back and to be there to deliver a sermon for us.
He was an adult then?
Hey, Jackson was? Oh yes, Jackson was pastoring and he was a pastor at that time.
So he has to be a little...
Yeah, he's almost in his 90s, if he's not in his 90s, but the Lord has blessed him. He remembers a lot, and he's shared a lot with us when we was talking to him, and so he's going to be there, and we're just excited to hear his message.
Okay, Reverend Jackson, then after, who was the next? Shaw was the first.
Yeah, Shaw was the first, and Reverend Jackson was there. He was not a pastor.
Right, he was.
And after that, we had Reverend Peter Little to come, and of course, Reverend Peter Little was recently at the Washington Avenue Presbyterian Church as pastor there, and I think he's going back to Tennessee, his home now.
He pastored Mount Vernon.
He pastored Mount Vernon, yes.
How long?
I think about 3 or 4 years.
And then he left.
And Reverend Russell Taylor became pastor.
That's when I became familiar with it.
Probably so, yes.
How long was he there?
Reverend Taylor was there until 1977.
And he left. Where did he go?
He went to, I think it was also to Tennessee or some other state, and of course, he passed not long ago. But he was there. He was the one that brought me to Mount Vernon. I came there in 1971 as his, actually 72, as his assistant pastor. And I had also been a youth pastor down at Central Union under Reverend A.J. Shaw.
Central Union.
In Fort Valley.
Right. Big church down there.
Yes.
So you was there, and then you came up here.
Yes.
And then, you've been pastoring there ever since?
Yes, I've been at Mount Vernon ever since.
And full-time church always has been?
No, it wasn't full-time when I got there. It was a 2-Sunday church. I carried it over to being a full-time church.
So you've been there how long?
34 years.
That's a long. That's more than all other pastors put together.
Yes.
Okay. When I go in your church, which I frequently go attend your church, you have a picture of Jack Smith on the wall.
Yes.
Why is he there?
Jack Smith was the first assistant pastor under Reverend A.J. Shaw. Those were the two men who actually led the church in its initial stage. And of course, you can see a picture of Reverend A.J. Shaw and a picture of Reverend Jack Smith. They're on the wall in the vestibule of the church. And of course, we honor them for their leadership, for carrying us on. And then one of the things that I want to add, and then after Reverend Jack Smith was the assistant, then his son, Eddie D. Smith, became the assistant pastor. And he was there until he was called to Macedonia Baptist Church. And of course, he's going to come back and be our speaker at our banquet, gala banquet on March the 24th, which is the fourth Saturday in this month at 6 o'clock, and it's going to be held at our son's church, who is Reverend Curtis Rings, at the New Pilgrim Missionary Baptist Church at 6 o'clock. And we're going to ask that everyone come out and be with us and hear Dr. Smith speak. He has an association with Mount Vernon, and most all the people that we have who are coming back to do things are people who are associated with our church in some way.
So, Reverend Eddie D. Smith,
Yeah,
Sr.,
yeah.
was the assistant pastor
At Mount Vernon, that's right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And then he went on to go to Macedonia.
Yes, and a lot of people don't also know that Otis Redding's father was also an assistant at Mount Vernon. And in fact, in 1967, before Otis Redding had the tragic accident and was, taken from us, his promise was to come back to Mount Vernon and to cut an album, a song with them in the church, because he frequently attended Mount Vernon.
Okay, yeah, Mount Vernon has some history.
Yes.
And I don't know if you know it, you want to get into it just briefly. Why did they leave Unionville?
Well, Mount Vernon was not the only church to leave Unionville. Unionville has been the mother of many other churches. Just this past Wednesday night, February 29th, we held our last pew rally, and that's where we invite various churches in to come and to celebrate with us. Coming up to our anniversary, we had Center Hill Baptist Church under the leadership of Reverend Leroy Reed to come and to fellowship with us, and Center Hill also was a church that was birthed at Unionville Baptist Church, and of course they left 15 years prior to Mount Vernon. So, without getting into any specifics, the Lord moves in a mysterious way His wonders to perform. And when churches, sometimes people see it one way, even when we look in the Bible and see that Paul and Barnabas split up. They split up, but it was the Lord's doing, because in their split, there were other people that received the gospel. Some from Barnabas, some from Paul. So when the Lord moves in His own mysterious way, sometimes the Bible says in Acts that the contention was very, very serious between Paul and Barnabas. And we don't want to get into what the contention was, but we know that in the overview of all things, and when we look at it, we know that it's the Lord moving, and sometimes and the Lord moves in a mysterious way.
Yeah, because most churches came out of other churches.
Out of other churches, and of course, and that means that the gospel is spread more widely than it would have, because
Tremont Temple came out of First
Baptist. That's right. And when you look at the history of churches, they all have come from somewhere else, and especially a church that has the name New in front of it, because it knew something, because they come from another church that was that name, and then when the new church break up, then it's called Greater New. So you have all those different things that really are movements, I believe, of the Lord to further expand the gospel of Christ, that other people can be reached, because one preacher can't reach everybody, and then everybody is not going to listen to the same person. I have people at Mount Vernon who I believe that they listen to me, and there are other people who wouldn't listen to me. And also there are people who are at Mount Vernon who would listen to somebody else. And I think that's just the way the Lord has it. That's the way people are. That's the way our personality is, and that's the mysterious way that God moves.
Okay, now give us this again. You're going to have a special banquet.
Yes.
It's going to be at Curtis Rain's
New Pilgrim Baptist Church on Robertson Road, and that's going to be at 6 o'clock on March 24th. That's the fourth Saturday in this month. And of course, Reverend Dr. Eddie D. Smith is going to be our speaker. And then on the anniversary, which is on April 22nd, Sunday, we're going to have Reverend Rains to come and be our anniversary speaker, because
he's the son
of the church.
Because when I first met Reverend Rains, he was a deacon in the church at Mount Vernon.
Yeah, he was a deacon there. And so was Sam Johnson now. And Sam Johnson's going to come back on April 9th, and that's the day after Easter, because that is the day that Mount Vernon was actually started on that day. And we're having a Founders Day program, and he's our first son, and that's alive now. And of course, he's going to come and lead that program, the Founders Day program. and then we'll have the anniversary program by our Reverend Curtis Raines.
You seem like you're going to have a high time in the Lord.
Oh, we've already been having a high time in the Lord. Reverend Mike came on the last
He preached.
Oh, he preached.
He preached.
Yeah, he
said it.
Yeah, he did. And we started out this year because, we come from Unionville, and Unionville was invited, and of course they graciously came, and Reverend Matt preached on the last Tuesday in January. We wanted to start the year out with the church that we were birthed from. And then, of course, we had our sister church to come in last month, and that was Reverend Leroy Reed, and he preached. And
Reverend Reed's, they're building a big, huge church in Unionville.
Wonderful.
And keeping the old church.
He's done some wonderful work there, and he continues to be blessed, and he has a wonderful congregation, a great choir, and we just had a high time in the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Yes, indeed.
So, you're going to have a pretty big event, but I didn't know that Eddie Smith came out of that church.
Yeah,
Dr. Smith.
he was an assistant pastor at Mount Vernon.
So you guys going to have some time in a banquet?
Yeah, it's going to be on the 24th of March at 6 o'clock at New Pilgrim Baptist Church in their Family Life Center, and that's on Robinson Road.
I'm going to have to be there.
But we hope you will.
That should be some time.
Yes.
Good food.
Oh, yes, good food. Always good food.
I'm always interested in the food,
All right.
My sister and my daughter tell me I shouldn't be that interested in it because that's why I'm gaining all this weight. But I'll be there.
Well, we hope to have you there. Yes.
But that's going to be a wonderful thing. Talk about you personally. You are still over at the Law Academy at Southwest.
Yes, I'm still at Southwest High School.
And you're doing the Law Academy.
Yes, I'm over the Law Academy.
Okay. And as I started off, and you have your PhD. You don't like to brag on it, but I like to brag for you. And so a lot of good things going on. And when I first started going to Mount Vernon, I wasn't a member, but it was a little small church. But now it's spread all over the place. What's happening?
Well, we add little things, and we take pride in the fact that we build our own church, and we like to do that, because we believe that it means more to us to do it that way. And we're doing some things now that we are hoping in the next 50 years that we can look back and, if I'm here, and I hope to be here.
50 years?
Yes, people are living long. People are living longer now.
But you got to be 60, at least 60.
I hope to be here the next 50 years.
100 and what? Still pastor?
Maybe not pastor, but in pastor emeritus status. And of course, I have right now I have 4 young people who've recently been called into the ministry who are on my staff at Mount Vernon, and they all have various parts that they're going to play in our celebration. And hopefully, the Lord will see fit to let one of them be pastor or somebody else. We don't ever know how the Lord is going to do it.
Look right in that camera, right over there, Dr. Ficklin, and tell us about a minute or so. Tell us basically what's going on with you in the church.
Thank you so much. We are celebrating our 50th anniversary at Mount Vernon Baptist Church at 737 Pansy Avenue over in the Unionville community. We, in 1962, on April 9th, we started a new fellowship, a new congregation there, leaving the Unionville Baptist Church. And this year on March the 24th at 6 o'clock, at the New Pilgrim Baptist Church on Robinson Road, we will celebrate with a banquet. Our guest speaker will be the Reverend Dr. Eddie D. Smith, pastor of Macedonia Baptist Church and former assistant pastor at Mount Vernon Baptist Church. On April the 22nd, which is our anniversary date, we will conclude our 50th anniversary with Reverend Curtis Raines Sr. as our speaker, and the New Pilgrim and Mount Zion Baptist Churches as our guests, and that will be at 3 o'clock. And we certainly hope that all the community will come out, help us to celebrate, because we feel that we have been a church of doing the business of Christ in our community.
Thank you very much. And we'll be right